Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a very new podcast that we here like to call Fathers of Taste. We're a music podcast, so we'll be going through and reviewing all different kinds of music, different genres, different people, all here on this particular podcast. We will be going through a wide range, a wide variety of styles of music, a wide variety of genres of music, and we want to present and share our thoughts with them on this podcast.
Yeah, Fathers of Taste, it's been a very interesting journey. I mean, we've talked so much about music, you and I, Eli. So many, different songs shared, albums shared, and, it just kind of came to our attention that we talk about music so much to each other that was like, you know what, let's just, chill, do something a little fun, something a little different.
Yeah, why not make the passion that we have for music into something that we could turn into, content, not even necessarily to occupy our time, but just to come amongst ourselves and we discover new music. That's just who we are. We like discovering new music. We like listening to different things. I'm Eli. Your other host is Moses. And we're just all about discovering new music. We want to get a grasp of, what it is that drives us. Like, what is the driving force for us when we listen to music, or it gives us a specific feeling that we like and we want to express and share with the world. So as guys who love music so much, we figured, why not go out and find new music to listen to, and we'd give our own breakdowns on how we felt about lyrics, how we felt about the instrumentals, the beats chosen, how we felt about the overall project and how it was put together. We want to talk about all of those things because to us, we find the things that make music enjoyable, whilst listening to whatever characteristics the music provides us. So we wanted to make a podcast to show our love for music and appreciate what music has done for us and what music has given to us. I myself, as an artist, I write music as well. So, to be a part of a music podcast and do something in the field of music is beautiful to me. Being able to listen and hear other things and see other perspectives. And then my good friend Moses over here, he loves music, and we share a lot of different things back and forth. So it was to a point where we're like, we have to do something together where we could give our ideas out and, we could come together and talk about music in a way where, we feel like we can't when we have limited time conversations.
Yeah, I think it definitely, at least the way I was viewing it, was it gave us more of an incentive to listen to more things of music and have these kind of conversations. Because we both love music so much. It's something that we've shared, and music is part of my everyday life. Like a lot of things I do around the house or sometimes at work revolves around me listening to music. It's just one of those things I just love to do and just have in the background. And so having this was kind of just an incentive to kind of broaden the things I was listening to. That way we'd have more conversations. We'd have different things that we were looking to listen to. It allowed us to kind of share some of those thoughts and feelings on that specific kind of art more than we would maybe than if we weren't doing this.
That's good. So as per our first episode, we wanted to basically we wrote some questions down, and we asked ourselves some questions about, what it is we wanted. What did we want out of this podcast? What did we want to get out of this podcast? What was our reasoning for creating this podcast? We did give a few examples and a few reasons already, explaining why, but we wanted to ask questions that went further in depth, make sure that the audience can have an understanding of why we wanted to do this podcast. So the first question that I have up is, what do we do here on Fathers of Taste?
Okay, so what do we do here? Basically, I think a lot of what we want to do is kind of like in-depth, like album reviews, going through song by song, going through like the vibes, like how we feel about different like productions of different songs, maybe songs that we've heard recently that we just want to share, talk about, kind of compare thoughts on. Overall, I think it's mostly just, just kind of chill, low-key conversations revolving around different scopes of the music sphere.
And yeah, I agree with that same sentiment. We are here on Fathers of Taste simply to enjoy music and have the freedom to give our honest thoughts and opinions on the music that we're listening to. And honestly, like I said, as Moses said before, this gave us the incentive to speak about music in a way that we couldn't before with short-term conversations and different things. So this gave us the ability to actually now sit down and be like, all right, we're going to listen to this album. We're going to break it down for ourselves. We're going to try to understand for ourselves. And then we're going to come here and we're going to come together and, like he said, share our thoughts and feelings on, this specific album. So what this is also causing us to do here on Fathers of Taste is it is also, like he said before, to broaden our taste in music. Because yes, we do have a fairly broad taste. We listen to almost anything. But there is also still room to grow. There's always new genres of music being created. There's always new artists coming out. There's always new music being approached. So we just wanna take the time to appreciate the art form for what it is. And that's what we do here on Fathers of Taste. Our next question: what types of genre or what type of genres of music will we be listening to? What's your thoughts on that?
That's an interesting question because I never really thought about it myself. I would say really whatever speaks to us. I think the thing especially that makes it very cool is that we both, like you and I will talk a lot and we'll have like similar, maybe not similar like artists, but maybe we'll have like similar tastes in like certain things that we like, or different tastes, but like in a very like engaging way. And I think like one of the things that is like different but is still engaging is like some of our like our genre tastes and like our music tastes. Like there's a lot that we do have in common when it comes to music, because I've talked to you so much about different like songs and artists, and like there's a lot of the time, like whenever you suggest things to me, it's things that I like and things I suggest to you. It's things that you probably like for like the most part, kind of. But like we both listen to so many different styles and people that it's like there's so many different possibilities for like the future in terms of what genres, what styles, like what artists we listen to. Just because we both, at the end of the day, we both have somewhat different tastes, so we're both going to be able to bring so much to the table in terms of introducing like new things to each other.
That is true. We do have different tastes. Like we do have some things where we are very comparable in certain areas, but there are some things where our tastes do kind of differ, which is good because, like I said, you don't want two people. I feel as though if I were listening to a podcast, you wouldn't want two people that have the same exact views about everything. I think you would want a bit of differing opinions. You would want a bit of differing of ideas. So, you could understand what it is that, you could understand the perspective of each person and how it is that they approach music and everything of the sort. So, like I said, with this podcast and Fathers of Taste, like I said, we're here for the music. So whatever comes out and speaks to us, like you said before, is kind of like what we'll listen and react to. But we do want to touch a bevy of different genres. Now, as to what genres we're going to touch, I have absolutely no idea. We could go through some alternative, some rock, some rap. Like, there's plenty of genres out in the world that we could go listen to. There's plenty of opportunities to listen to different types of genres of music. There's plenty of types of music out there that we could go in and indulge and then break down and then have us get a sense of what it is that we like and don't like. We're making the podcast, and the genres that we listen to are to broaden our taste, and so we can bounce ideas off of each other and get an understanding of, like we said, what it is we like and dislike.
Yeah, I mean, I'll add one quick thing to that.
Go.
Yeah, like, in terms of the genres, like, there's definitely ones that, like, we both listen to. Like, we both listen to rap, like, we both listen to rock. But, like, again, with, like, that, like, bit of juxtaposition, I'd say, like, a lot of, like, the rock that I listen to might be more, like, classic. And I know you're very into, like, some modern rock. Like, I know you just found, like, a new kind of rock band that you were very interested in.
Yes.
And... like, we both listen to, like, Indian alternatives. I know you're not really probably experienced with, like, country, but that's, like, a genre that I listen to. Maybe not, like, a lot, but it's one that I have, like, on decent rotation. So it's, like, there's similarities, like, the rock, but then, we have other ones that we, like, listen to. Like, you probably listen to a lot more rap than I do, or, like, R&B.
Right.
So, there's still going to be, like, a whole lot of contrast. So it does still make it, like, very different at the end of the day, very unique.
And the thing about it is, too, also, I wanted to start this podcast, too, because, like I said, I wanted to broaden my horizons in music. Country just seems to be a genre that I cannot stand. And so with this podcast, I am hoping to open my mind up to a bit of country. There might be, like, 2 country songs that I say that I like, and one of them is technically not even considered country; it's considered pop. So it's like, I'm trying to give the genre a chance. Maybe it's just I haven't found the country album for me yet. But maybe, hopefully, throughout the journey of this podcast, we can then, maybe I could then afford some grace to country music beyond, like, the stereotypes of what it is.
It gets a bad rap. It gets a bad rap.
Yeah, it does get a bad rep. Country gets a bad rep. It's even gotten a bad rep for me. I've heard a few country songs, and I'm like, I feel like every country song that I heard sounds the same to me. So this is why we also started the podcast, because I wanted to broaden my horizons. I practically have delved into a bit of every genre except for country. Like I said, maybe only 2 country songs that I've listened to, and one is technically considered pop. So it's like, I need actual country to listen to see if I'm missing out, or if it's just gonna stay the same and I just never will like country music. But hopefully, maybe we get something. Maybe I'll find something that, I might like during this podcast and go from there.
Yeah, I'm sure I got something.
Yeah, I hope, because, like I said, I don't want to just hate on country just to hate on country, because that's kind of what it feels like, knowing that I don't really have a large enough sample size to be like, country, like, I know country well. I can't say I know country well. That would be a lie. But what I will say is that I just feel like a lot of the country that I've dealt with, it kind of sounds the same. So I need a cleansing perspective. So maybe we do some country, and we'll find some things that I might like. Hopefully we get that through the podcast. Our next question: what topics would you talk about? So I'll take the lead on this one, because I like this. I like this question. It was given to us by a friend, and it was a really good question. I didn't necessarily know how to answer it at that moment in time, so I'm gonna kind of freestyle it now. But basically, the topics that I feel that we want to talk about when we go into these in-depth discussions about these album reviews, or about our EP reviews, or about song reviews, like whatever we get into during these episodes is, whatever we get into on these episodes is whatever happens. But the topics that I specifically wanted to delve on in this podcast that are huge to me when it comes to music, the first and very foremost thing when it comes to music for me is lyrics. Lyrics is a big part of it plays a big part into what I listen to. Because if I don't like the lyrics of the song, more often than not, I don't like the song. Which is interesting because to me, I don't know a lot of people who necessarily listen to music for the lyrics. They more so listen to it for the vibe that it gives them. You know, me personally, before I listen to a body of work or a body of music, I listen to the lyrics and I read the lyrics. And like, if I like what I'm hearing, if I like what I'm reading, then more often than not, I seem to fall in love with the song just because of the lyrics. So the next thing that we would be talking about, I believe, is a topic of discussion would be instrumentals. And what comes in to play with instrumentals would be like beat selection, production, like how does it sound? Does the beat sound good? Do we like the beat? Do we like the production on the song? That would kind of go into like instrumentals. Do we like how everything came together? I mean, I guess production probably be considered a second or a separate source, I guess, from instrumentals. Because yeah, you can have good production with the vocals and the instrumental, but then the song overall's production just doesn't sound great. So I guess you could consider those separate. So I guess it'd be lyrics, instrumental, production. I guess another one of the topics would be how do we feel? How do we feel about the music? What do we think about it? What kind of feeling does it evoke, like in us, when we listen to these songs and this music? Like, what does it translate to? And basically, we just give it a breakdown of, we give out a breakdown of songs just like that. Moses, you got anything?
No, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, we'll definitely.
Oh.
Hey, no.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I think I would agree with all of that. Like, yeah, we'll definitely talk about like lyrics, instrumentals, production, and then like the vibe, like the feelings. I think I usually find myself gravitating towards more like the vibes and instrumentals part. I know you're really big on lyrics, and I think you pick up on production a lot better than I do, or at least you gravitate towards production a bit more than I do. I mean, yeah, there will definitely be like a lot of different things to go into with like each like song and album, and in terms of like the meat and potatoes, like all the content that it provides.
Yeah, that is true. And the thing is I feel we break down each song like that because the whole point in this podcast was for us to broaden our horizons. And as we said, everything that we said before, we just keep building on it with each question. So like, the topics that we talk about in order to break a song down. So one, we could get a better grasp and understanding of the song itself, and then how the song makes us feel. And then the production of the song, what does it sound like? And then the instrumentals, do we like the beat? Is the beat trash? Like, it's, there's so many things that go into making music. And as an artist, as a person that writes music, it's like, is the sole reason why I gravitate towards lyrics and production probably more so than instrumental and vibe. But now, the thing about it is I still do gravitate sometimes towards instrumental and vibe because I realize that not every enjoyable song has good lyrics. Just like not every enjoyable song has great production. Just like how every enjoyable song doesn't have great instrumental. Just like there's songs out there that don't have the best vibe, but you still think it's a good song. Like, There are ways that, I feel like us breaking it down into those 4 categories, maybe later on down the line, we'll be able to find more categories in order to talk about, or more topics to talk about within the music. But as for right now, those 4 topics are going to be, or those 4 categories, are going to be how we break down these songs so we can get a grasp and understanding of them. And honestly, Moses, I just thought of this on the fly. Maybe right? When we listen to these, when we listen to like these songs and we do these reviews, we could like grade these songs on a scale, grade each song on a scale.
I was, when you were starting it, I was thinking about that question. I was gonna ask like what we were thinking in terms of like ratings and stuff. Like, do we give like grades, or like do we just say like if we like mess with it or anything like that, or like I'm not sure. So yeah,
I was gonna say what we could do, right, is we could give a song a grade, right? We'll give a song a grade, but each topic, so every song, right, gets the 4 topics that we were talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we give a rating based off of the average. So let's say we could do like we could go on a scale of like S, A, B, C, D, F.
Like the tier,
as our grading scale. Like a tier list, basically, for each of the 4 categories. And then we give the song an overall grade. Now, mind you, like, the way that we would give it an overall grade is, I guess, we could calculate it based off of, like, the ratings, I don't know, that we give the 4 topics. And, you know, we just do the round up and round down system. So if you round up, if it's 0.5 and up, you round up. If it's 0.4 and lower, you round down, and then you just get the overall grade of the song by that. And that way, I guess we give like a fair assessment to the album as a whole. Because, you know, there's some music podcasts and there's some music reviewers who will give the album like an A, but then they basically hated like half of the album.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So to give it like a fair like overall assessment, I guess we make it mathematical for like each song, and then, you know, like grade the album based off of that. And that makes sense.
No, yeah, for sure.
Sense. So the last question that we had for today was, how long is each episode going to be? Which is a good question, because me and Moses were talking about it together, and, you know, we were saying that we wanted the episodes to be 30 minutes to an hour. But we realized that there are some episodes that, like, we might be less passionate about, so they would be shorter, and there might be episodes that we would be more passionate about, and they might be longer. So what we want to do is keep it in a general area of around, like, 30 to an hour, but sometimes, depending on what's going on, or like depending on how passionate we are about this album or this project, whatever it is, the episodes might be longer. If we, you know, don't like it as much and there's not really, or the album's not really much to talk about, it might be a shorter episode. We want to keep it in the range of 30 minutes to an hour, but like I said, it could vary based off of the content of the album as well as our enjoyment of the album or whatever it is that we produce. So we want to keep it in that range. Any thoughts on that, Moses?
No, yeah, I mean, the 30 to an hour, I think it's just like a good kind of just like its own mark. Like, not that we're gonna like confine ourselves in that, and that's kind of like the purpose is not to confine ourselves. It's just like a general area that we would like to hit would be like about like 30 minutes to an hour. Just so that we're not like rushing or like going too long. But I mean, again, like if there's things that call for, you know, longer discussions, like if there's, you know, like a worthwhile, like meaningful, not that we want to like just push it to be like over an hour. Like if the actual conversation is worth being over an hour, then that's the only time that we would have something that long. And then, you know, if the conversation's only worth 20 minutes, there's no need to push it and like an extra 10 or so to get to that time length. So it's just like a little general basis that we would like to hit, but again, it's you know, it'll vary from case to case. It's just probably the majority of the episodes will probably fit like within that amount of time. It's probably the expectation.
All right. So we have one more question that I just thought of on the fly. I read off already all of our questions pertaining to Father of Taste. So now this question would be, what albums or projects are we looking to review and get into next? What are our next steps here?
I think we know what our next one we're eyeing is. For anyone listening,
your former GOAT.
Yes, he was my former GOAT.
You have to make sure you put the emphasis on the former GOAT.
No, yeah, big former though. I mean, who knows though? There. After listening to this, he could be the GOAT again. No.
So his former GOAT is a man that we all know and love and may have spiraled a little bit.
We know him too well now.
We might know him too well. Facts. It's a gentleman by the name of Kanye West. He just dropped a new album. I don't even know what the name of the album is.
It is still Bully. We haven't changed anything.
It is still Bully?
Yeah.
He hasn't changed anything. It's still called Bully.
It is still Bully, yep.
All right. So, look, a little bit of background on this album. So, prior to us making this podcast, this was the very first album that, you said you wanted to do. And we made a joke about it because we didn't know if it was actually going to come out when he said it was going to come out, considering all the controversy and all that good stuff with, what was it, his last album? That he pushed the release date back multiple times.
I mean, he's pushed back the past two albums or something like that, because I think both Vultures were released a bit after they were supposed to have. I mean, honestly, even besides that, there's been controversy with AI use, when he was first promoting Bully and stuff like that. I think this is a redid kind of version of what he promoted on YouTube and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff with Kanye.
Well, there's always something with Kanye at this point.
It's always a little. Look, he's supposed to have gotten. He's supposed to have gotten better.
He's supposed to have gotten better. Will we ever actually know? I don't know. But what I do know is that I believe that'll be the first project that we will be listening to. We will be going like we said, a song by song basis. We'll give our ratings for the song, and come up with a mathematical equation. I guess we end up basing the equation off of the 4 topics. We base it off the 4 topics. So like we said, we have S, A, B, C, D, F. Mm-hmm. We'll go base those 4 topics off of each, and we'll go from it like that. So I guess F could be 0, and then we go up 1 for each. So F is 0, D will be 1, C is 2, B is 3, A is 4, and S is 5. And we'll go based off of that number scale with the 4 topics that we were talking about for each song. And then all together we'll have our album rating, based off of how we rated the album, based off of how we rated each song. So the album will be rated based off of how we rate each song, and that's how we'll get the total. That's how we'll get the total for the album itself. Yeah. And then we'll basically give our grade on the album based off of how we felt. Now, mind you, these values, it's not like it's the end all be all. This is all opinionated. It's just based off of however we feel about these tracks is how, we're gonna grade them based off of how we feel about them. And then, like I said, we'll come together for each song and compare, and then, go about it that way. Yeah. So Kanye West is our first project. He's the first project that we're gonna listen to. He's the first project we're gonna listen to. He's gonna be on the next episode of our podcast.
I don't know. We should give him a mic. I'm not gonna lie. We might have to mute that mic.
Give Kanye a mic?
Nah, yeah. You gotta give him a mic. But you gotta mute it. It's like when you playing on a console with your younger sibling or something like that, like a little cousin. You just take the batteries out the controller just because you don't want them doing anything.
Nah, he can't play with his cousin, bro.
Hey, yo.
Look, man.
Nah, Kanye being the first thing is hilarious to me, though.
Kanye being the first thing is absolutely hilarious. But I think, honestly, who knows? It might be well worth it. It might be well worth it. We might actually have a good time listening to the album. I know this will be the very first Kanye album that I've actually sat down and listened to.
Really?
Front to back? Yeah, front to back. Now, I've sat down and listened to some Kanye albums, but I haven't listened to any Kanye albums front to back. So this will be the very first one. And like we said earlier, this is the whole point in the podcast. The whole point is we do this album review. We're going to listen to them song by song. We're going to listen to every song and give our honest opinion about each song, no matter how enjoyable the album, no matter how excruciating the album is. If it's bad, we're going to listen to it, every song, step by step, just like I had to do for Lil Wayne. The album he dropped, holy.
You didn't mess with The Last Carter?
Oh my God, that album was no.
No.
That album was no. That album was just no. That was, and I like Wayne, but that album was, sheesh. My goodness.
I like some of the Wayne songs.
We'll get into these albums, and like I said, we'll do deep dives. We'll give our grades based off of the 4 topics of how we feel, and we grade each song, and then at the end, we'll grade the album. We'll bounce how we felt, like how we felt about the album, or ideas of what could have made the album better off of each other. And that's what we're going to be doing here on Fathers of Taste. We're also going to have the occasional joke, because we just can't help ourselves. But, that's what we're here for. It's to be enjoyable. It's to just enjoy the music is why we're here. That's what we're here for. Even if the music is bad, we still can enjoy talking to each other and just talking about how shit the album was or how trash the songs were. Like, we'll find a way to enjoy it somehow. Like, either way.
I don't know what we could listen to that we'd have that miserable over time talking about it. I'm sure there's something out there.
I had a miserable time listening to that last Carter album. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I had a miserable time listening to that album, bro. I was like, yo, this is not the same Lil Wayne that I know, bro. This can't be. This has to be some imposter. This is not him, bro. I'm like, God. The beat selection was bad. Some of the punchlines were like, bro, what the hell are you talking about? That whole album for me was just, it was bad, bro. It was bad. And yeah, so like I said, we'll go through, we'll listen to the music. Like I said, we are here for that. We want to listen to the genre altogether as a whole, or listen to the album, altogether as a whole. And, we want to make sure that we broaden our horizons on this journey that is Fathers of Taste. Oh, Moses. Oh my goodness. You know what I forgot?
What?
We have to talk about this before we end the episode.
What you got?
Why did we come up with the name Fathers of Taste? Like, why is it that we chose Fathers of Taste to be the name for our podcast? We gotta go through and tell them that story, because that was something that we came across that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably tell the story better than I can. I think, for me, I do like the name Fathers of Taste, because it could be, it could be ironic as well. We could have trash music opinions, all right, but calling ourselves Father of Taste, I think, just makes it like ironically hilarious.
It does. It is actually hilarious, because we're these guys that have such a broad taste in music. We named ourselves Fathers of Taste because we feel like we have like a very eclectic taste in music. Like we listen to a broad variety of genres, like I said at the beginning. So like, you know, we call ourselves fathers of taste just because, you know, we felt like we have the best music taste out of everybody in our friend group, the two of us collectively.
Valid.
So we also named it that because we put it to a vote with a few other titles. I can't really remember the names of those titles right now, but we went through and we became fathers of taste through the vote. But it was also because, like, you know, we felt like at the end of the day, we have broad taste in music. So we figured it was very fitting to name the cast Fathers of Taste. I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was clever. Moses was kind of like, you know what? I do like that. And I'm like, yeah, well, there we go. We have it. The name of the cast. Now, all of that and all of the time that we spent waiting and trying to figure out how we were going to do this, we now finally have, come together to make the first episode of a hopefully successful and extremely long podcast.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely, like I was saying at the beginning, it was a bit of a journey to get even here, because like solidifying that name, I think like took like a week or two just to get like everyone to like vote on it, give like their thoughts, suggest stuff, and then to find a time to even just sit down and record like this little just introductory was taking a bit longer, because there were like days that I'd get home late or I wasn't home, and this, you know, scheduling timing didn't work out, but you know, we were able to finally eventually get there.
Yep. So now we put this episode out. It is only up from here. Personally, I am excited to listen to these songs with you, and I'm excited that we are able to start this podcast. I also, later on down the line, I have an idea of some stuff that I want to do. Because I also want to bring some artists on to the podcast and see what, you know, their thoughts are, and they can have the ability to express their music there, and we talk about it, and albeit it'll be what it'll be, but that might be for later on down the line. For right now, we'll stick to music reviews and, you know, listening to these albums and finding projects to listen to, and go from there.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds great.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in to the very first episode of Fathers of Taste with your two amazing hosts, Eli and Moses. And and to many more future podcast episodes.
And many more.
To you guys. All right.
Peace.
Peace.